One of my favorite places in all the world is Covington Nursery and Landscape in Rowlett, and I've been right here many times walking through, picking up plants. We're going to talk about responsible landscaping. Joe Covington, owner and founder of Covington Nursery and Landscape. How do we begin? What's the starting point for responsible landscaping?
Well, the first thing we like to do with our fellow gardeners is to ask them what exposures that they have that they're making the appointment for. And so we need to know that because of our intense, long, hot summers dictate that we use something that's Texas tough.
It's not so important that it's native, it's more important that it be adapted.
Absolutely.
If it's native, great, but it needs to be adapted.
Absolutely.
Not everything that's native to Texas is adapted in Rowlett or in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay, so that's responsible landscaping. Start with a well-adapted plant, get it off to a good start. I want to look at some things that you have on your own truck.
Sure.
Are you going home with these? It could happen.
Absolutely.
You never know. And I know that you have brought some new variations of old favorite plants. And we're going to talk about abelias first. Boy, talk about a tried and true heirloom plant, glossy abelia. Tell us about these three new ones.
This one is kaleidoscope abelia. Has a beautiful, bright yellow and green color throughout the spring and summer and into the fall. And then in the late fall, it turns kind of an orangey reddish fall color throughout the entire winter. It blooms from May until November.
Just like the other abelias.
Has a long bloom time with a kind of a small white bell-shaped flower.
All right, this is Rose Creek.
It has a white flower that starts in May. It's a very heavy, continuous bloomer throughout the entire summer into the early part of the fall. So it's a long bloomer.
That's beautiful.
It is.
I bought this from you several weeks ago. I love this.
Twist of lime.
Tell us about it. It looks really dwarf.
Twist of lime actually gets a little bit taller than the other two. It can actually achieve 3 to 4 foot tall and wide. It has this great creamy yellowish white variegation in the foliage that's just very, very showy, very attractive. Great color contrast plant against some of your darker greens.
The thing that's nice about these is you don't have to have flower color from these plants because they're so colorful on their own.
Exactly.
But you also don't want to overdo it. You put a whole landscape of this in, it's going to be a little dazzling.
Right. This is all about color contrast type plants.
Let's look at some other shrubs and we'll come back to the ground covers here. Nandinas. Let's tell us about this.
We'll start with pink blush. It's actually just a hybridized version of Nana Nandina. Gives you that color throughout the summer though. There's the difference. And it doesn't sun scorch like the old-fashioned Nana Nandina. So it's a great addition that you can actually plant in more sun than you could the old Nana Nandina.
Oh, this is beautiful. How tall does this grow?
Obsession is in the dwarf Nandina family, but it gets a little taller than blush. It gets 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, and its new growth is also just a very crimson reddish color.
All right, and then lamiums, you have a couple of different lamiums there.
Right.
This is a silver beacon.
Right.
Aren't those pretty plants? Oh,
They have a beautiful purple bloom, brightens up a dark shady spot.
I love the lamiums. I have a lot of that at our home, and I am thrilled with it. Thanks for bringing those, Joe. That's a great one. Covington Nursery and Landscape in Rowlett. My friend Joe Covington, thank you.
Thank you, Neil.
That's great. I told you how much I like purple winter creeper euonymus as a ground cover. I need to tell you a couple things about it. You plant it from 4-inch or 1-gallon pots. It will cover the first year. It will gain in depth the second year. It will look normal the third growing season by the end of springtime. I use it in sun and in shade, and I use it to hold soil on a slope. This is the slope at our home, and it's done wonderfully for me here. Give it a try. I think you'll like purple winter creeper euonymus. Coming up in a moment, we'll see John Hunt, flowers in the vegetable bed.
Today I'll be showing you how to make a quick and easy recipe using those tomatoes you can for winter. It's also a great time to take advantage of some great cool weather winter greens. Today I'll be featuring spinach. I'll be making a pan-roasted wild salmon with braised spinach and bruschetta tomatoes.